Hello, welcome. I am so excited to be here and so delighted and grateful that you have joined us. You are joining us for a really special event. Not only are we going to talk about how to grow your Pilates income in 2024, but we are going to launch we're going to present the biggest launch that Barbody has done in years. So I am super pumped that you are here. Now, before we start, I know that I need to bring my energy down. I need to get present. So I invite you to join me. I want you to close your eyes, pop one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Take a big, deep breath in. And a long, slow, grounding breath out. And again, breathing in. And breathing out. Let's take a moment before we begin to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land upon which, from wherever you are, from where I am, it's the Arakwal people of Bundjalung Nation, expressing our deep gratitude to be able to use this space. Also paying our respects to elders past and present and extending that respect to all Aboriginals and Torres Strait Islanders living today, acknowledging their connection to land, sea and community. I'm just so grateful to be here and I am so happy that you are here. We have a really big time to share together. We're going to, as I said, we are going to talk about how to grow your Pilates income in 2024. That's the big piece that I'm excited. We really want to deliver value to you. We are also going to unveil our biggest launch, Teacher Love Club, probably the worst kept secret that we've had in a really long time. One thing I will say is that we have a really special offer as well as a bonus. So I encourage you to stay until the very end because you do not want to miss what we have for you, the offer that we have for you, the special bonus that we have for you. So I encourage you to stay until the very end. But first, we are going to dive into our panel. So I would like to introduce you to Rebecca Lockyer and Liana Hudson. Liana Hudson is the head of training for Barbody. She has been with us for a very long time. She's really exceptional. So she's responsible for all of our teacher training. She's responsible for training our teacher trainers. So she's the trainer of trainers, if you like. She's an exceptional Pilates and bar teacher. We are very lucky to have her here. She's got so much knowledge to share. And then the gorgeous Rebecca Lockyer, she's our head of online at Barbody. So Barbody encompasses Barbody teacher training, Barbody online, Bend, and Teacher Love Club. And Rebecca is responsible for both Barbody online and now Teacher Love Club. So she's super experienced. She's also a teacher trainer, a senior teacher trainer with Barbody. She's been teaching Pilates for, have I said this already? 13 years. She's very, very cool. So we are exceptionally lucky to be sharing this, to have this opportunity to share this knowledge with you, and knowing that I have some pretty awesome women at my side to present this panel to you. So I think we should get started talking about how to grow your Pilates income. Now, as a Pilates teacher, there's so many ways that you can make money, and most of us think of the first way, obviously, which is teaching classes. What we really want to share with you is how you can grow that income and as well how you can look at additional revenue streams as a teacher. So when we sat down and talked about this topic, so we sat down, we did a lot of prep and we thought, okay, let's just brainstorm how you can grow your income as a Pilates teacher. We came up with two main themes, so that's what we want to present to you today. The first theme is all around, it sounds really silly and really obvious, but it's all around becoming the absolute best teacher you can be. So growing your skill set to become the absolute best teacher you can be, because I can tell you that's what leads to more classes, to privates, to more opportunities, to bigger class numbers. It all stems from being a really exceptional teacher. So we want to talk about, and there's kind of two buckets that falls into. We want to talk about those two. First, I'm going to direct my first question to Liana. So Liana, you have been an integral part of the Bar Body team, and you obviously, in your role as head of teacher training, you know all about what it takes to be an exceptional teacher. Tell me some of the ways that our viewers at home can become a better teacher.
Absolutely. So first off, it's kind of about growing your skills. So we're never going to be the most perfect instructor, right? We're going to continue to grow. So that is by doing extra courses, whether you want to create, learn more styles. So your reformer, bar, Pilates, or maybe it's honing in on one and getting more of a niche. So maybe it's around pre and postnatal clients and furthering your knowledge around that, and doing your short courses and workshops so that you can further advance your knowledge so that you start to get those people coming into your classes. You can also do it by finding mentors. I know that I found a mentor at Bar Body when I first started, and that's really where I feel like my knowledge excelled, especially stepping into, teacher training and everything like that. But it was because I had this mentor and because I learnt from someone, single-handedly. It really helped me develop my skills. So develop your skills, grow your skills. You can never learn everything, so you've got to keep going step by step. We're never going to be the perfect instructor, are we? No, but that is when you do grow your skills, when you do learn more, when you soak up all of the knowledge. As Liana said, I want to sort of key in on one really important point. When we talked about this, we all said, oh, you know what, you've got to teach all the styles, right? So, and we find this at Bend with our teachers, that the more styles a teacher teaches, the more classes they'll get on a timetable. And I can tell you as a studio owner, I love the triple threat. So when you can teach reformer, bar, and mat Pilates, that's like just magic. Now, another big theme when we were looking at growing that skill set that we sort of really honed in on, and Beck has been responsible for recruiting, mentoring, and deciding who's going to teach what at Bend specifically. One of the things that we talk about a lot is there's a special sauce we think that makes an instructor exceptional. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so I think when we sort of hire teachers, it's like we'll go in and we'll trial them, and the first thing that I'll notice about their teaching is usually the sequencing and how it flows together. So if someone comes in and they just know how to blend a sequence and make it flow so it kind of feels like there's this beautiful balance in the body, and you finish and you just feel, you can't really explain it, there's just amazing feeling of my body feels really good. And also this sense of the class just kind of ends suddenly and you have no idea where the time went. It's been 45 minutes and it's gone and you're like, what just happened? So a really key element for us when we're looking for instructors is, can this instructor sequence a really great class? Does the class flow? And it's a really important aspect that we take pride in, I guess. Yeah. And also, like other things, if they've been kind of following along with certain things that are coming up in the Pilates world as well, that's important.
Keeping up with trends.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's a little piece about this idea of growing your skill set. So if you're wanting to hone in, again, we're always coming back to this idea of how we can help you grow your income. So the top 2 tips that we've presented to you so far, number 1 is do always be learning. So keep learning. We really, that sort of extra tip that sits in there is be the triple threat, because that leads to more classes, therefore leading to more income. And then there's that special sauce around sequencing. We do find that the teachers who know how to teach with flow and sequence classes, they are the most in demand. But that's not it. There's another whole piece. So we've talked about growing your skill set as a teacher. The other piece to make you absolutely in demand and grow your income by being an in-demand instructor, the other piece is around becoming indispensable. So wherever you work, You want to become the teacher who is absolutely indispensable. Let's talk a little bit more about that. So Liana, you, earlier on in your career, you had a role as our regional manager in Brisbane looking after our 2 studios. What would you say were the characteristics that would make a teacher indispensable and therefore the teacher that you would want to give more classes to?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a few things, and I feel like attitude is a really big thing. Their attitude, their vibe. So we always meet with instructors prior to hiring them, and it is all about their attitude, them being a team player, putting your hands up for covers. So, you know, if covers come up all the time, I feel like every single week there is a cover. And if there's that one person that's always putting their hand up, or they're reaching out to the studio, you know, manager and being like, how can I help this week? If, you know, you're away on holidays or something like that, they're going that extra mile. They're making, you know, the studio environment so pleasant and help with the really kind of running of the team. They're putting their hands up for things. They're helping out with events. You know, they're helping wherever they can within the studio. And it is that kind of vibe that, as a studio manager, when things pop up, or if they've come to you directly with, hey, I want more classes, or, you know, if there's ever a position that opens up, I'd love to be, you know, signing people in, the admin or something like that, you're probably going to go to that person first. Because they're the ones that are always putting their hands up. They're the ones that are going the extra mile, and it's kind of the obvious choice.
And we really do notice, like as a studio owner, we really notice those instructors who are going the extra mile, who really care. One of the things that I'll often notice is there's a difference between the instructors who are really like, they're committed, they're you know, posting like their classes on socials, I'm teaching, or, you know, you really know the ones that are invested in the studio. So I notice as an owner who's invested in our studio, and they're the ones that I want to invest in by giving them their choice of classes, by giving them more on the schedule, more opportunities. So it's something that we really, really notice. Now, there's another factor to becoming indispensable, and I think it sits in a really important bucket about just how to be an amazing teacher as well. And so, Beck, we were talking about this morning. We did lots of prep, so we were ready to be our best for you today. And that's probably a really good segue. This special magic that a teacher has? Tell us about it.
Okay, so a really important aspect that makes a teacher indispensable for us especially is the sense of connection that they have with the members, participants, clients, whatever you would like to call them. We're always looking for that, like that really strong connection with the members at the studio, and also, you know, the knowing people's names. So when they're in the class, they're saying, hey, good work, whoever, Emma, great work, Liana, you've got this, that kind of thing. And that just makes everyone feel so special. And then we actually hear about that from our members as well. And so that's a really important part of it. I guess the other thing is we're looking for that sense of being really present when they're in the room. So really, like, every single aspect of the class, not just the class itself, but like how the room is set up and how they're welcoming their clients into the room, their energy, and making it about the clients and holding space for them, rather than worrying so much about what is happening for them as teachers. They're really just focusing on holding space for the people in the class. So important.
I wholeheartedly agree. You really do notice the difference between a teacher who is there for themselves, so, you know, there to make a buck and there to, you know, maybe even get in their workout. The difference between that teacher and the difference between the teacher who is showing up, they are present, and they are showing up for the clients more so than for themselves. So especially if when you're newer, you're starting out in your career, in the earlier years of teaching, there is a real tendency to be in your head thinking about what you're going to teach today, what playlist you're going to play. I really, if you don't take anything else away from today, I would take this piece away. Really make sure that you center your energy before you walk in that door and that you commit yourself to being present for your clients. And we're talking a lot about growing your income in the sense of working for other people, but pretty much everything we've said also applies for when you're working for yourself. All of these little pieces apply to when you have your own Pilates business. You need to be growing your skills, you need to be connecting with clients, you need to be showing up, being present, being an incredible sequencer. These are all the things that make you an exceptional teacher and thus make you more in demand and thus will grow your income. I've got one little extra tidbit before we move on to talking about the other nice big chunk around growing your income as a Pilates instructor. And that is, in this bucket of becoming the best teacher you can be, it's magic. So as a teacher, I would be looking at how you can bring more magic to your classes. And this is also as a studio owner, as someone who's, whatever you're doing in the Pilates world, look at how you can bring more magic to it. So the way that we do this in our business is we look at every single touch point, like every moment when clients first arrive, during the class, when they're signing in, birthdays, how can we add little bits of extra magic? What adding magic does is makes clients feel special. They can't quite put their finger on it, but they feel seen, they feel special, and they're like, I just love this whole vibe. So find those pieces of magic. I'll give you a really specific example so you know where I'm going with this. We have a teacher here at Bend, her name is Danny, and at the end of every class, she gets a little drop of essential oil and she'll put it on the wrist of every person. And then she does a little routine where they rub their wrists together and inhale the scent. That is magic. So clients know that's sort of a special signature that she will do in her classes. They know that and they love it. They look forward to it. Another example would be a beautiful teacher in Sydney, Gabrielle, very special part of our bar body family, used to do a similar thing, but she'd add a little sort of, I think there was like a little temple massage, a little shoulder squeeze, magic. So look at the ways that you can bring magic into your classes. Now I want to talk about the second bucket. So the first bucket is that idea around making yourself indispensable. The second bucket we want to talk about, and I don't know why I'm calling them buckets, but here we go. The second bucket I want to talk about is looking at how to grow additional revenue streams, and we have some ideas for you. So I'm going to go back to Liana. Liana, one of the things that I know has been really rich for you has been this career development. So you're not just a Pilates instructor. Being a Pilates instructor, that's what we're all about. We're here to support Pilates instructors. But if you want to grow your income, there's a few ways that you can do it. And one of those is through looking at career development opportunities. Tell us a little bit about your career journey and then advice you have for people who do want to expand their career beyond teaching.
Yeah, absolutely. So I probably did full-time teaching for about a year, and in that was when I started with bar body as well, and fell in love with bar body. It was somewhere that I just felt like home. All the people that worked there, I connected with. I still have, such amazing friendships with so many people who have now left or, gone and done their own things. It was this home, their values, we shared the same values within teaching. You may not always get that with some studios as well. You might put your hand up in the beginning, but over time you might be like, this doesn't quite sit well with me. And then, I was one of those people that put my hand up for everything, and I ended up being studio manager for the Brisbane studios, and then further developing into teacher training because that was something that I was really, really passionate about. I saw that bar body did teacher trainings, and I just kind of kept going through, kept kind of weaseling my way through, kept putting my hand up for things, and I was like, I'm really interested in this. This is something that I really, really want to do. you know, what can I do to kind of get this opportunity to be a part of the teacher training team? And it's just really lovely that Barbody has this space or this opportunity within the business where you can grow into other places and you can actually build a career, you know, starting off as a Pilates instructor. But I knew that that wasn't just the only thing that I wanted to do. And I saw those little opportunities, and, you know, having a business that had those opportunities are great, but I still really worked hard to get there as well.
So looking at those ways that you can consider career development opportunities, you can make an incredible living teaching classes. You absolutely can. You might decide that you want to pursue a career. So looking at different ways that you can do that. Another little idea for you is, it's not just necessarily a career that's specifically focused in Pilates. You might look at whether or not you want to add a wellness coaching certificate to your belt, whether or not you want to learn about nutritional coaching. So offering ancillary services as well, that's a really great way to grow your income. Now, Beck, I know that you're so tuned in to what lights you up, and I think when people really connect with what lights them up, they can really look at it. Really, when you are in flow, when you're in tune, that's when you can do some really special things that then lead on to growing your income. Tell us a little bit about your experience about landing in your flow, and then maybe give some suggestions about other things that people might like to do to grow their income.
So for me, yeah, I mean, I've been teaching Pilates for a long time, been teaching barre, yoga, and really came back to, I really like teaching. I really, really like teaching dynamic Pilates and barre, and that's my thing. Another huge part of it is I love doing online teaching. I love the online component of it. So for me, has become a huge part of what I do, and it really lights me up, and I love creating programs and classes, and just the community of it is seeing that all come to life. So the online component for me has become a huge thing. Other ways that you can really build your sort of grow for you as an instructor financially would be things like if you're into retreats or creating a workshop, offering a workshop at studios that you teach at. Other things like corporate clients is an amazing way of sort of building that as well. And then also online, if you wanted to do classes for studios online, that kind of thing.
Or for yourself.
Or for yourself, yeah.
And that also ties in really beautifully with when you want to hone into that piece around looking to do retreats, looking to do special programs, challenges, one-on-ones, corporate classes. It's generally when you've done that first thing that we talked about, which is really hone your skills, grow your skill set, become the best teacher that you can be. That's when you grow your following, and that's when you can then move on to looking at hosting retreats. I know that retreats work best when the clients coming are super, super connected to the teacher. So you can see how it all feeds into one another. I want to give you some other little ideas, some other tips about growing additional revenue streams. One of them is looking at opportunities for starting your own little business. So we've touched on a couple of those things. Maybe you want to have retreats, maybe you want to create a program, maybe you want to become a specialist. Obviously, one of my special areas of expertise is maybe you want to open your own Pilates studio. Now that's a pretty big deal, and it doesn't have to be that big. Maybe you want to start your own classes. You'll hire a hall somewhere, find a group of people and get them, create your own little business that way. Those classes tend to be more lucrative because you're not having to, I mean, you do have to pay the studio, the rental, whether it's a studio hire or a hall hire or wherever, or in the park, but you get every dollar basically. So once you've covered your costs, you're getting every dollar from clients. So creating those sort of little niche businesses where you can be the one earning the income rather than being an employee all the time, that's really good. You can look at, Beck touched on teaching online. So once you get a following, you can offer classes online, or what I think works really well online is special, sort of, whether it's a special class, whether you're targeting, whether you grow a specialty as a prenatal instructor or an instructor for teens or for kids, that tends to work really well online. The online space is very crowded now, so I would suggest that you sort of hone in and find a niche audience that's really going to connect with you and will be attracted to what you're offering. So there's lots of opportunities there. I would just be looking at wherever you live, wherever sort of you're existing, I would be looking at, are there any gaps in the market? So are there any opportunities? You might go to a studio, for example, they might not have, it might be a yoga studio and they might not have any Pilates classes. You might go and put your hand up and say, hey, have you thought about adding Pilates to the mix? I'm your girl. You might know that there's no one teaching Pilates in your local area. That's where you might start with a hall or a home studio. There are so many ways to grow your Pilates income. My big tip though, keep giving you these little pieces, but the big tip I have is to make a plan. Set yourself goals, make a plan, and take action. So often I see people having all of these ideas or having all these hopes and dreams, and the piece that's often missing is the making a plan. And sometimes people can do that, but the next piece, that's the hard piece, taking action. So you must take action. So take a moment now to write down a couple of takeouts that you've got from our session so far, and maybe even think about, if something pops into your head, if there's something you really loved, just make a note around it. And then after this session, I want you to make a plan. I want you to take action. Alrighty, so just to recap what we've talked about there being two really key ways to grow your income in 2024. One of them is all around growing your skill set, being the best teacher you can be, making yourself indispensable. And the second part is looking at additional revenue streams. What other little pieces can you add to build up your income? So that is our panel discussion. I want to say, I have loved this conversation. Now it's time to dive into the main event for me. This is our biggest launch in years. We are so excited to be bringing Teacher Love Club to you. So I told you to stay until the end. We're not there yet. Keep staying. We have a really special offer for you at the end, so I don't want you to miss that offer. Teacher Love Club is something really, really special. Last year we made a big decision and a big shift in our business to say farewell to our bar body studios and to really move into this space. We just had this big heart check after 10 years of opening and running bar body studios. What we realized is, with all of these years of experience, what we were really tapping into was the teacher training space, and the online space was getting bigger and richer for us. So we decided that it was time to take our business in a new direction. It was time to focus on empowering and inspiring the next generation of Pilates instructors and studio owners. So we have spent the last year really growing in the online space, really growing in our teacher training space. And it was a little while ago that we realized that there was a piece missing. And we sat with it and tried to come up with what we felt like that piece was. And I can tell you, it is Teacher Love Club. So Teacher Love Club for us is about meeting the needs of Pilates teachers and Pilates and bar teachers. It's about addressing some of the biggest needs and biggest requirements for a teacher. So what are the things that, as a teacher, we're often feeling like we might be missing? So this is going to meet your needs. I want to talk you through the three main parts about Teacher Love Club. So first I'll tell you what it is, and you probably already know, but it is a community, an online platform and app, a community especially for Pilates and barre teachers. Obviously, that's our jam. We know a lot about it. We've sunk so much love into this particular product. So it is an app. So this app is for you to grow and learn as a Pilates teacher and also connect and create community. So we really have three main pillars. The first pillar for Teacher Love Club is all about education. So when we were looking at what was missing and what our clients, what our teachers, what our graduates were crying out for is that piece around how do I keep growing? What's the pathway once I'm a teacher? How do I keep growing my skill set? So education is the most important part of this platform and program. What we're delivering, the way that we're going to deliver our education component is through workshops and masterclasses. So every month on our Teacher Love Club platform, we will have live workshops and masterclasses. It's pretty special. When I get into the app demo really, really soon, I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like. But basically, we're looking at meeting your needs from a growth, from a professional development perspective, how we can support you on that journey. So that's the first thing that we feel like Teacher Love Club answers. The second thing is all around inspiration. We sat down and we thought, what, as a teacher, like sitting in that space of being a teacher, you've been teaching for 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, what do you need? And one of the things that really, really shone through for us was to be inspired. So to be inspired and ignited, so creatively lit up, to be getting inspiration from different sources. So we have created an amazing answer to that in Teacher Love Club. The third thing that we really address in this incredible platform that I'm about to demo for you is connection. So that's the other piece that I think as a teacher, you're often going and teaching your classes, and yes, you're connecting with clients, but it can be a lonely job. So we want to create, and we are creating, an incredible community to deliver connection for you. So for you to feel connected to like-minded teachers. I'm going to tell you more about that and how we're going to deliver on that pillar of connection. But I will give you a little hint. So not only do we have an amazing community within the app, but we are also going to be hosting live events. So meetups, but the big event, which we're not ready to launch yet, but I can give you a little hint around, is we will be doing a Pilates instructor Teacher Love Club retreat next year. So that is going to be really, really special. We'll have a limited number of spaces, but it will be incredible. We'll be diving into so many of these pieces that really help you connect and become an incredible teacher. So just stay tuned, make a note. We'll tell you more about the retreat soon. But I think I should show you what the product is. What do you think? Should we dive into the app? I'm going to give you a little tour on my phone. So I am so delighted and so excited to debut for you. You are the first people to be seeing it, Teacher Love Club. So this is our app. So when I talked about the three pillars, so education being the first one, the best part about this app, I think, is the live workshops and masterclasses. So I want you to imagine every month, we're going to deliver you a schedule of education opportunities for you to keep learning and growing. I'm going to walk you through these workshops and masterclasses. So these are live. There will be replays, so if you miss them, you don't have to worry. You can always catch the replay. But our very first workshop is next Thursday, so make sure you sign up before Thursday and stay till the end where I'll tell you about your special offer. But our next workshop is next Friday. Did I say Thursday? Friday. Our very first workshop is next Friday, 11 a.m. These are live workshops. And the first one is the magic of teaching with flow. Now, Beck is the master of teaching with flow. And so in this workshop, she's going to tell you, basically deliver you a formula about how to teach with flow, how to teach a flowing class. Then we'll see, if we scroll down a little bit, we'll see that we've got to support this live masterclasses. So this is where you actually practice. This is where you get on the mat or get on the reformer and you'll do a class. You'll do a class with a senior teacher to really put those concepts into practice. Now, if there's no other piece, how amazing is it to be able to practice with a senior teacher? When you've been teaching for a while, you find your favorite teachers. Liana was talking about finding a mentor. This is the place where you'll find it. You will get to put these theories, these concepts into practice with really exceptional teachers. So every single month, you will have a workshop. So that's the learning component. And you'll have 2 masterclasses. You'll have a reformer masterclass every single month. And then every second month, you'll have a bar class or a Pilates mat class. So one month it'll be bar, and the next month it'll be Pilates mat. So 2 masterclasses every single month. So there's 3 opportunities for you to learn live and really hone these skills. So let's look at the first 6 months worth of workshops, shall we? So we've got the magic of teaching with flow, and then in December, with Liana, we've got how to make your classes strong and dynamic. Now, this is really, really cool because strong classes, often clients, they just love them. So, and I've been doing this for a really long time. I can tell you hand on heart, clients love strong classes. Liana will also tell you how to make them strong for everyone so you can cater not just to super advanced students. We want to make, how do we make the same class strong for a beginner and strong and dynamic for an experienced student? So that's in December. In January, you will have a magic manifestation and goal setting session with me. This is really, really cool. This is totally my jam. I love, love, love putting into practice and really digging in to find out what are your heart goals and how we can create an action plan and take action. So we were talking about making a plan before. You don't want to miss this one. This will be special. Now, obviously, it'll be a little bit tricky in January to do a masterclass about manifestation and goal setting. So we have a slightly different masterclasses in January, and they will be alignment-focused reformer and alignment-focused bar with our resident physiotherapist, Lara Weber. So they'll be really great masterclasses, just a slightly different theme to our workshop for that month. Moving on to February, we are back with Rebecca for a workshop on the art of intelligent sequencing. So we talk about flow, then we talk about teaching a power dynamic class, then goal settings, and then we're moving into intelligent sequencing. So how you put a class together, how you design, how you plan, really great classes so that you get that feeling that Beck was talking about when you walk out and you're like, I don't know what happened, but it was amazing. So that's what we'll be doing with you in February. And that'll be supported by an intelligently sequenced reformer class and an intelligently sequenced Pilates mat class. So then we go through to March, catering to clients with injuries. That's really special. That will also be with Lara Weber, our resident physiotherapist. And in April, so I'm giving you the first 6 months, and it'll be a rolling 6-month calendar. In April, I'll be talking about how to start a Pilates business or studio, and we'll tap into all of those different areas: retreats, programs, challenges, one-on-ones, corporates, as well as opening a studio. So that's my jam. I know lots and lots about the business of Pilates, so we'll really get into that together in April. And again, supported by master classes. So April will be all about fun with props on the reformer and also on the Pilates mat. So that's there's so much there, right? So cool to know that every month you'll just have a program delivered to you. So rather than going, oh, what workshop am I going to do, or what's the next training I'm going to do, we have taken care of that for you. So we will give you your program. You will know what you have to do. And as I said, if you miss the live classes, you can always catch the replay. So that's our first pillar. Our second pillar being inspiration. When we first designed this app, it was actually almost completely with inspiration in mind. So as well as getting inspired from the workshops and the masterclasses, I'm going to take you through this it's like a Netflix a Netflix experience. We have this content library of well over 100, I think it's well over 200 videos in the content library. They will stay there always, and we'll be adding to this content library every month. So I'm going to show you, first lane you've got, once you've been through your workshops and masterclasses, you've got what's new this month. So that'll be all the new content that we've added this month. So the replays will live there, all of the new content that we've added that will go into this sort of Netflix style content library. Teaching skills. So I'm going to show you some of so this is your library. It's there all of the time. I'm going to show you some of these teaching skills. How to conquer imposter syndrome, how to prioritize self-care as an instructor, how to find your own unique magic as an instructor, how to build community, how to keep your class plans fresh, how to progress your career, how to teach a beautiful end of class relaxation, inclusive language, how to set the tone and energy before your class, how to modify for different ability levels, how to get your clients to come back again and again and again. So I could keep going and I could keep reading, and you'll keep scrolling and seeing, oh my goodness, there is so much amazing juice in here. You could be, even without the masterclasses and workshops, you could be kept busy just by devouring the content in this app, and it is going to make you a better teacher, I promise. So that's teaching skills. Then we've got choreography inspiration. Now, this is one of my favorites. So I want you to imagine the experience of you scrolling through Instagram and you'll see another teacher does a really cool sequence, and so you save it and then you learn that sequence later. We have put that into the app. Now I'm going to show you one of these. So let's look at, so you can see we've got tons and tons of choreography inspiration here for you. Let's start off, I'm going to play this one for you. So you'll see that the sequence is sped up. So it's a little bit faster than normal, and you can see you've got these instructions at the bottom that tell you what you're doing in this sequence. So this is probably like a 5 to 10 minute sequence, but the actual video in the app, because it's sped up and we're saying how many reps to do, it's about a minute. So you can imagine how easy it becomes to design your classes when you can just you've got, a minute of content is 10 minutes of class planning for you. So this is really, really cool. I absolutely love this part of the app. So I'm going to pop out of that. So you can see we've got lots and lots and lots in that, lots of inspiration for you. Then we've got fun repertoire. So this category is all around, we're going to give you creative exercises. So, as a teacher, that experience of you're on your way to class and you're like, I just need to give my clients something new. I just need to give them a little bit of newness, a little bit of specialness. This is where you come. So you'll have a look and go, okay, for example, dance-inspired warm-up with Beck. So this is for a bar class. You watch that and she'll give you tips on how to bring this newness into your class. So this is really cool. These aren't sped up videos. These are a little bit longer. So these are more, you're diving in and probably learning something new. So I'll give you an example. I do a really cool stretch at the bar that you're using a block and doing a little flow. That's in there. So that, for bar teachers, that would be something really special and fun, a little bit of magic, a little bit of specialness to add into your class without having to, where do you go to find all of this inspiration? How do you dig through all of the various different websites, going to different classes? This is it. This is where you'll find your inspiration from now on. Alrighty. Then we've got deep dives. So deep dives are really, really cool. So these are longer videos that really, deep dive, there's no better way to say it, deep dive into particular topics and particular areas of teaching. So for example, how to sequence a reformer class. There's a 40-minute video just in the library on sequencing. So that's really cool. How to do lunges on the reformer with Liana. How to sequence a bar class. How to make your Pilates classes flow. How to sequence a Pilates class. Prenatal friendly standing leg work. Supine modifications for pregnant clients. The magic of compound movements with Liana. So compound movements is when you're moving your arms and your legs. So you're not just doing you're not isolating the exercise, you're getting more bang for your buck. This is all stuff that you really, really want to learn as a teacher. Bridge variations, squat variations, maximize the effectiveness of core work, different types of bar lunges, glute magic, perfect your plank. There's so much good stuff in there. So like I said, you could spend days just going through the content library and get so much value out of this app. Then we've got our common injuries. So common injuries, we started off with our top 10 injuries, and Lara, like I said, our resident physiotherapist, Lara is bringing you adaptations and modifications for injuries. So there's lots of good stuff in there. Then again, speaking to this inspiration piece, music playlists. So we've got tons of music playlists in there, Spotify playlists for you. That's another thing that I find as a teacher, like the time it takes to create a playlist and how you'll teach a class and maybe you'll use the same playlist 10 times and your clients get thoroughly sick of it. We've got you. We've got you covered. Then, funnily enough, this is where this whole app started. It started with just class plans. So we've got so many class plans for Pilates mat, for reformer and for bar. Now, each Pilates class plan has a printed PDF of the class plan. It has the actual full class, and it has a playlist. Everything, like everything you need to stay inspired. We're taking all of the guesswork out for you, keeping you inspired, giving you so much value. So you've got reformer class plans, Pilates class plans, bar class plans, and then, as if I haven't given you enough already, and then we've got so many full classes. So I'm just gonna show you, we've got tons and tons of full-length bar classes. We've got full-length reformer Pilates classes and full-length Pilates mat classes. There is so much in there. So that is my little demo of Teacher Love Club. I'm going to show you now. So obviously I've been talking about the app now. I want to quickly show you, and just really quickly show you, that there's also a web browser version. So you can see all of the same content in this Netflix style experience is all here. So it's all here for you to devour. So, I feel like I need to take a big deep breath. That is Teacher Love Club. It is so cool. Now, I want to tell you about, you're probably sitting there going, okay, when's she going to tell us how much it costs? Well, that's why I said stay till the end. So I wanted to tell you now what the bonus is, and I want to tell you what the subscription price is. So I will blow your mind by saying it's actually just $39 a month. So that's the normal price, is $39 a month. I feel like I'm on a, but wait, there's more. You're going to get free steak knives, but I am genuinely, I think what I'm saying is like there's genuinely so much value here. So it's normally $39 a month, and after, I think it's next Thursday, it'll be $39 a month forever. But for you, I said stay till the end, this is the offer. It's just $20 a month for the lifetime. I really do feel like I'm an Amway salesperson or I'm selling steak knives. But wait, no, there's more. So $20 a month, like how could you not want all of that value for $20 a month? We really wanted to, give you so much value, because we also have a bonus, and that bonus is for if you sign up in the next 7 days, you will also get our special bonus, which is a webinar with me on how to really grow your social media, how to improve your social media. Now, I've been deep diving into this space, looking at webinars, looking at going to conferences, so I know what the latest is in terms of how to grow, particularly on Instagram, how to really grow your social media following. So that's what I'm going to dive into. That's your special bonus. So that will happen towards the end of November, but you have to sign up in the next week to have access to that. So I feel like I need to just sort of lie down and flop. I am exhausted. This has been so fun. Like I said, we're just so excited about this product. You can see, we've just put so much heart and soul. I really do feel like it meets the needs of Pilates instructors today. There's more pieces that we're going to be adding soon. We want to dive more into the business of teaching, and we want to dive more into wellness as a Pilates instructor. So how to stay well, how to avoid burnout. So there is so much more coming. So thank you so much for joining me. I want to thank my beautiful panelists. I want to thank Beck especially for being the head of Teacher Love Club. She has so much blood, sweat, and no tears, I don't think tears, but probably not blood either, but definitely sweat. That's one thing I can promise you, a lot of sweat. I want to say thanks to Beck, and I want to say thank you to Liana. Our business wouldn't be what it is today without you driving our training and growing our teacher trainers and doing it all with love and care. That's what we do here. We do it all with love and care. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
So if you need a little bit of TLC in your life, I couldn't help but use that pun, a little bit of tender loving care, you should sign up for Teacher Love Club, TLC. Thank you so much for joining us today.